My name's Nigel Welton. Welcome to the lounge. Today I wanted to make an interesting little video for you guys talking about whether or not I think that a $100 mechanical watch is worth it. So let's get into that. The watch that I'm going to be talking about today was actually my first mechanical watch, which is the Invicta Pro Diver 8926. You can see here in my hand. It's actually a nice piece, but I'm going to go into some of the things that I dislike and some of the things that I like about this watch in this video today. I actually got this watch on Amazon when I was shopping around for mechanical watches. As I said in the previous video about this piece, I was first into a lot of fashion watches and didn't really care so much about the movements and everything. And then when I came around to discovering mechanical watches, this was the first one that I picked up on Amazon for only $100. So the watch in question today is this, the Invicta Pro Diver 8926. Now let's start off with a positive note of some of the things that I love about this watch. There is a beautiful scalloped bezel, and that takes some cues from things like Omega's Seamaster 300-meter diver. But there are a lot of aspects of this watch that make you think that it is an homage piece to things like Rolex's Submariner, such as the similar to the oyster bracelet design of the bracelet on this watch. And then you can also see on the dial on your hour's hand, you've got the Mercedes logo, which is what Rolex does with their Submariner as well, and the Cyclops date window, two things that are definitely major keys from what Rolex does with their watches. And it is waterproof, it's got a screw down crown, and it is good to 300 meters, which is a fairly substantial amount of depth that you could go with this watch. But I don't really think that it's the best watch to buy as your first choice. Now there are a couple things about this watch that I don't actually like, and I've had a few problems with it. The first one and most major problem being that the screw down crown is no longer functional. So that means that if I were to go diving with this or wear it in the shower, it's way more possible that water could come into the movement and damage the watch. The second thing is the bezel is a little bit on the soft side, so there's a little bit of play in it. And that's a bit of a problem because it makes it so that your timing your dives is a little bit less accurate. Now, something good to say about the bezel though is it is a 120 click bezel, which means that you can time up to 30-second intervals instead of 1 minute intervals at the very least. So that's kind of a cool feature about this piece. One of the other things is the fact that the bracelet is very flimsy. Now, I don't know if you can see or hear that, but it does have a bit of play in it, and that's a bit of a downfall to this watch as well. One of the other things that I didn't really touch on too much is the movement in this watch. And it's actually a Seiko based movement. It is the NH35A, and although it's a Seiko base movement, it's assembled and put in the watch by Invicta, and it's a fairly reliable movement. It's hours, minutes, seconds, and date. But I've had my problems with it because the oscillating weight that you can see there, the yellow piece, has actually come quite loose and makes the watch very rattly, even just when worn day to day. So though it's a reliable movement, I've had to do my own repairs on it, going ahead and tightening that oscillating weight down again. So that's one strike that I would say is against this piece. While this watch has a fair number of downfalls, I've had it for a couple years now, and it was my first mechanical and automatic, so it's always going to have a bit of a special place in my heart. But would I say that you should go out and buy this as your first watch? Definitely not. I think that there are way better pieces to have at this value, such as the Seiko SNKL23, which is actually a great piece, and I wrote an article on that, so I'll link that down in the description below, so you can go over to the website and read it. But I think that that would probably be where your best money is spent for the near $100 range. So I've been wearing this piece on and off for a while now. As I said before, the bracelet is a little bit rattly, so I've had it actually on my Omega NATO that came with my Speedmaster. But yeah, it's always going to have a special place in my heart. It's always going to be in my collection, and I think that it's important to have a piece like that for yourselves. So if you determine what that piece is, if it's something that you've had for a long time, if it's a family heirloom, it's definitely going to be a cool piece to keep in your collection and to have as a forever piece. Just wanted to say a quick thank you for you guys watching this video. Go ahead and check out the rest of the videos on our channel, and it would mean a lot if you'd like and subscribe and check out the stuff in the near future. This has been Nigel Welton for Horolounge.